Welcome back, everyone. This is the Real Fitness and Performance Podcast. Today we're going to be on the floor instead of in front of the computer, and I'm going to give you a demonstration of what that starter program looks like. If you haven't looked at the starter program episode, please go back to that to see kind of the philosophy and the principles behind it. This is kind of how it looks and the pacing you should have when you do it. Obviously, I'm not going to do all the reps because that would take forever in this video, but I'll just do one or two in each position and kind of give you the flow of how things should be. So day one, group one is goblet squats, lat pull downs, chest press, and a plank. So we've got a squat, we've got a pulling exercise, we've got a pushing exercise, and then we've got a plank or an abdominal exercise. So to start with, I've got a kettlebell, but you can use a dumbbell for this. The goblet squat, make sure you keep your back straight, chest out, and your depth is as far as you can go without losing that position, and make sure that your heels don't come off the ground as you go down, and you can keep your back straight. So this is where we would establish that full range of motion, because with the weight in front, you have a counterweight so you don't fall back as you're squatting down. So 1, 2, 15, we've gone through all 15 reps. Then go to your lat pull and back straight, chest down, and make sure you're really focusing on pulling those shoulder blades back and down as you're pulling that weight to your chest, or that bar to your chest. 2, 15. Then slide over and grab your dumbbells. Breathing is in as you're down and out as you're up. In as you're down and out as you're up. 2, 15. And last, drop it down for your plank. You're holding your plank. Trying to go for a minute. If you can't make it on your feet, drop down to your knees, but notice my body stayed straight. All right, so you're still holding a plank at that point. And then if you can, pop back up. So those 4 exercises, 15 of each, 1 minute on the plank, and then rest as long as you need, or if you can, go right into the next set. So now, that was with gym equipment. Of course, I had the luxury of having a lat pull, a nice bench, the power blocks. But what if you don't have some of that equipment? So here's a couple modifications. First, well, the goblet squat would be the same, because you should at least have, if you're doing my program, you should at least have a dumbbell or a kettlebell or something along that. You can even use a medicine ball there. So we'll set that one aside. But what if you don't have a cable lat pull? Well, all you need is a band. You can get these on Amazon, strength bands, and you can use that to pull down. And if you don't have a nice bar or something like that to put the band on that you would break, I've got a little contraption you can make at home. Take a toe strap, put it in the door, and all you need, again, is that toe strap, and make a nice little knot in one end, close it in that door. And then you can do your pulling exercises from there, because you can just wrap your band in there. And you can do that in the side of the door for rowing exercises and everything. So cheap little fix, just get you a toe strap, something that's going to handle a lot of weight, obviously. Got to make a loop, make a knot, and then you can close it in the door. And of course, you want to be on the side of the door that if you pull it, it closes the door. So that way you don't accidentally open the door and pop yourself in the face. Now for the bench, I don't have a bench, you say. Well, if you got $15, you got a nice cheap bench. There's a lot of stuff out there. Which is better, stability ball, no stability ball? Well, whatever the data says, I say it's a $15 extra bench that you can use for all of these exercises. So hopefully that helps you at home. And that's group one, day one. All right, for group two, I changed the setup a little bit. You probably saw it in a blink of an eye. It took me about 5 minutes to get everything maneuvered around. So that's your break between sets, just kind of getting everything ready. And then we're going to hit it again. So the first exercise, you're going to need one of your dumbbells, or you could also use a kettlebell for this one. And it's a single leg Romanian deadlift. Now I'm going to give you a front view. Notice my hip on the side that has the weight doesn't pop up like that. You want to keep it nice and lined. So the pictures for these are all in that exercise guide. If you're a trainer and you're watching your people and you want to see it from a long way away, look for that foot to turn out. And even if you can't see the hips, you can see that the hip is turning because their foot is turning out. So that's the single leg Romanian deadlift. Then, nice flat back, good posture. I'm using a bench for support, but you can also use your own knee for support there for a single arm row. Notice my shoulder is pulling back, not up towards the ear. Back. Target your rib cage with that weight, and you should get a nice vertical motion on that weight. Then, I'm going to get a little lighter dumbbell here. Single arm kneeling, overhead press. Resist the urge to let that hip drop to the side as you press that weight overhead. And last, the best exercise not many people are doing, this is the Pallof Press. Easier to say Pallof Press than band core anti-rotation exercise. You're going to center that, hips back, knees slightly bent, what we call athletic position or your shortstop position. And you're going to press out, and as you get out, the band wants to twist you, you're not going to let it. But don't lean away, stay nice and tall. Again, lather, rinse, repeat. 3 sets. If you need a rest, take a rest. Don't take too long. But if you can, get all the way through it. And that's what it all looks like in real time. If you finished it all, you got some extra time. This would be the time you would do some static stretching. We just worked the hamstrings. We just worked the legs. Then you can do your static hamstring stretches or something along those lines. So that would be the time and place to do that. If you want to, if weight loss is your goal, then this is where you can do kind of a cardiovascular cool down, something like walking on the treadmill, go outside and for a walk, something along those lines as well. So sky's the limit on that. Don't do too much at first, especially if you're coming from not doing anything. If you're new to this, maybe do your cardio on a separate day. But that's what it looks like on the floor, and you just add the number of reps you're going to be doing. But I do recommend going back to that starter program, which is episode number 2. These episodes aren't going to be numbered. Anything on the floor is going to be thrown in as just demonstrations of what we're talking about in the actual episodes. So standard disclaimers, I'm not your trainer. This is for informational purposes only. Hopefully this gets you started on a path to training safely, but also effectively and efficiently. So I'll see y'all next time on the actual numbered episodes. The next one's going to be nutrition, and then we're going to go from there. Like, share, subscribe, support this channel, and we'll do it again next time.